Game 1-0, a massive win for them in their quest to finish in the top 4.
I've got a bit of inside information. It seems like Moyes has been sacked.
Ooh, wow.
I don't think it's come out
yet. Is
that
that live?
It's from a very good source.
That's a DR exclusive.
Wow.
Right
Yeah, I'm just getting it through now. It looks like he's been sacked.
Good.
Remember when you heard it first?
Well, you are hearing it here first. Trust us. It's the first place you will have heard that. Obviously, Nicky, very close to people at West Ham and obviously everyone around the club. And you're telling us through a source that you've just got that David Moyes is no longer the West Ham manager.
It's come from a very, very good source. So I'll be very surprised if that don't come out during the show.
Wow. Well, if it does, just remember, you heard it here first. DR Sports exclusive.
It's a fact.
Wow, that's unbelievable. What is your instant reaction to that? We'll get back onto United and Rashford, but what is...
It needed to happen.
I mean, you came in and said he needs to go, maybe 10 minutes ago.
Did you watch that last night?
Yes.
It's pathetic.
5 losses in a row.
It's the worst it's been since before he took over.
Do you know what? I'm just uploading we do a show called The Morning After the Game Before, where you sort of take your time to divulge things. And if you watch it, go and watch our fan cams last night on West Ham Fan TV. It was shocking. You know, it was absolutely shocking, and it gets everything wrong now. I can't understand where. I know what it is. He hasn't evolved the way he plays.
Nailed it.
Yeah, he can't evolve. He's got that way. He came in. We've done well, but you can't stick doing the same things with and putting new players.
Different results.
No, you can't.
He's and like a glass ceiling, isn't he?
Yeah, of course it is. And he has no other way to evolve his game. He's got to his limit. People have worked him out, and it just makes the odd. It's not only. I don't think it's only the results that worried me. It's what's coming out of his mouth in press conferences. But Leicester were bottom of the league. They came to us just before the World Cup. It was the last game before the World Cup.
2-0 they won, didn't they?
Yeah, they was. I think after about 8 or 9 games, they had 1 point, if I'm right. And they won a couple of games, and they sort of caught up with us on points, and they was just below us. And he turned around at a press conference and said, "We must be doing something right. We've got the same points as Leicester." And I'm thinking, they was bottom of the league with 1 point after like 10 games. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? Then when we got to the game against Arsenal, he comes out in the press conference in midweek. We'll just keep on doing what we're doing. It'll come. And it hasn't come. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the definition of madness.
Yeah.
If you keep on doing the same things and expecting different results, then picking the same players. Got to Arsenal, played 4 at the back. Got a poor defence at the moment. Arsenal are a team that are going to come at you from all angles. We was all expecting it, except for David Moyes. He played 4 at the back. Gets to Brentford in a game that he has to win. Brentford, they're going to play on the counter-attack. You want to get on the front foot. He plays 5 at the back.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Takes all the pace. It takes Kira, although he isn't a good defender. He's got pace. They've got pace up front. Takes him out and puts. You see Cresswell. He got burned.
Cresswell and Dawson.
I don't know what was he even doing there.
No, I don't know. Running apparently.
He must have wanted him sacked. Must have. You just let him go.
It's just it had to be done. I wasn't shocked, but I was a bit disappointed that it didn't come last night, because I think it would have been
more impactful.
Yeah. Well, do you think they've had a chat this morning and said, look, that was not acceptable. 5 in a row, you've got to go this morning? Or
I think he's lost the dressing room.
Yeah.
The players are not playing for him.
Yeah.
Definitely
them new players that come in as well. And like when he first came in, we had Haller who cost us 50 million quid. We had Anderson that cost us 45 million quid. And they didn't play the way he wanted to play. Yeah. So he bombed them out of the club. I think we sold Anderson for £2 million back to Lazio.
Yeah.
40 mil loss.
40 million loss, yeah. And he was a good player at the time. Yeah. And Haller, who's gone, he's done it at Frankfurt, he's done it at Ajax, he was doing it at Dortmund before he got that unfortunate diagnosis that he got. And you look at him, and I was his biggest critic. And people were saying to me, no, he's a good player, he's got to play to his strengths and all that. And I said, yeah, but what we're doing is working. You know, you can't play to one player's strengths if what we're doing is working.
Yeah. It's getting you the results.
Why change it? Yeah. But now we've got the same situation. It took 18 months to pick Scamacca. 18 months he took to pick up a striker. We've had no recognised striker at the club for 18 months since Haller.
Covering.
And the ball must have been looking at it last night thinking, £50 million on Paqueta, £50 million on Scamacca. The same thing is happening to exactly the same thing to him and Anderson. He's got to change the way he plays now because what he's doing isn't working. Mm-hmm. So they must have looked at it this morning and thought, we can't have that situation again.
And I think
we can't spend that sort of money over and over again and let this guy.
But it's so weird though. Like these are players he wanted, right? So surely he must have had a plan or an intention as to how he's going to integrate it into the team. I find it so weird. Why would you buy them and then barely use them, or when you use them,
also,
use them out of
did
position?
you not have like a takeover and new money come in as well?
No.
No, was there not Czech ownership or some?
Oh, Kretinsky coming, yeah, but it wasn't. He just bought some of the shares. He's bought like a bit of the club, and it's not really.
But I always assumed after the two kind of almost European spot finishes in back-to-back years, this was going to be kind of the year where West Ham kick on, and with Paqueta, with Scamacca, you thought this is going to be them taking that next level. But I think what you said hit the nail on the head, where he's a manager who, when it gets to that bottom half of the table, brilliant. He gets the job done, gets you results, gets players up. But once it gets to that pushing teams to the next level, it's almost like what Stoke tried to do a few years ago, where for 5 years they were regularly safe mid-table. Then once they tried to play more expansive, get a better quality of players, they just couldn't do it, and it slipped up. And you guys want to be careful you don't fall into that kind of category where you slip backwards again. So I think we are good decision. Definitely to get because even if you look at Pellegrini's last kind of run of games was miles better than what it is now, and I think he got done a little bit early. If that makes sense.
We lost 3 home games in a week. The week before the World Cup, we got beat by Crystal Palace at home, Blackburn in the Cup, and then Leicester. Now, look, I can forgive an Arsenal result at the Emirates. You know, I can forgive that because they're top of the league. They're top of the league for a reason. But if you're losing against Brentford, Crystal Palace, and Leicester at home consecutively, there's a problem. Yeah, big problem. You know,
straight off the bat, is there any names that stick out to you in terms of replacements? They're obviously going to have to move on this quickly. Would you take Sean Dyche at West Ham? We've done a poll. Apparently, you said that.
I did say that. Yeah.
That was serious, right?
It was at the time. Yeah, but it will be the same. Yeah. You know, I've heard a couple of names bandied about. You know, the likes of Scott Parker, Michael Carrick,
Mark Noble. I've just seen in the comments.
Pochettino,
Steven Gerrard.
Pochettino?
I think we've missed the boat with Pochettino and Tuchel.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I think Tuchel maybe would have been big.
The thing is, right, we've had 2 good years. Yeah. I think these 2 results now have put us beyond that. I think if you'd have got the end of the, you know, when the World Cup came in, when the World Cup came along, if he'd have sacked him after that Leicester game and said to Tuchel, look, we'll chuck some money at you, we'll give you £12 million a year, say.
You've got 4 weeks to work.
You've got 6 weeks now, work with the players. Obviously, you know what Declan can do and everything else. Work with the players. Now, it's only 2 games. You're now looking at teams separating away from you, and you look at you know, people like Tuchel and that. Even for money, they're going, no, that's not really what I want to do. You know what I mean? Like,
but who comes in?
I don't know.
I think I really don't know though, about making sure that manager's got the time to bed them in. It was pretty dire after those 3 consecutive home losses, so there was a strong argument to say, well, if we've got this window to work in, let's get a new manager.
But he should have been working. If they give him the time, he should have been working on it.
Well, what was he doing during the World Cup?
Fucking watching the World Cup. Watching the R Sports stream.
Lovely. Well, there you go. We're just waiting for that news to be triple confirmed. But Nicky has told us early doors on this piece of news that it looks like David Moyes has lost his job at West Ham United. Get us in the comments for your reaction to that. Let's go back to Molineux.